Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard, and it is a damn fine day to talk about a book. And this is The Drift by C.J. Tudor. Now, I got this book back in early 2023. My wife and I went on a bookstore date, kind of a fun thing, right? We each set out to buy the other person a book that not necessarily from the genres they like, but not necessarily from the genre, something that maybe they uh, that might be a little bit different than something they would pick. Now, I had read a single book by C.J. Tudor when I got this. I had read The Chalk Man, and I'd kind of let everything else slip by. Since reading this, I've read a couple others. I've read The Hiding Place. I've read The Burning Girls. Might be another one. I got a couple others, ready to go. I enjoyed this book. Well, I've called C.J. Tudor the Queen of Twists. I mean, her twists are just next level. Sometimes they work for me, sometimes they don't. Now, upon initially finishing this one, it didn't really work for me. This book does things with timelines and characters at the end of it that you're kind of like, oh, uh, you're left to think a certain way throughout the entire book, and then at the end, that the rug is ripped out from under you. Some characters that have different names and different timelines are actually the same character. Again, I was under the impression that these three timelines I'm reading about are happening at the same time, and they are not. And let me repeat what I said: some characters are the same person, and to me, that was very few books have given me that feeling. This book gave me that feeling. The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward gave me that feeling. And I'm not going to go too much into the way that multiple characters are explained at the end of the Catriona Ward book, but if you've read it, you kind of get what I'm saying. This book gave me that same feeling. So if you loved the way things were explained away and wrapped up at the end of that one, then you would probably love this one. It's not the same thing at all. Like, it's not the same medical condition that Catriona uses. It's completely different, but the same type of feeling for me. So, um, again, this is a winter book. It is a snowbound book, so great um, read to read in the winter. And here we are at the cusp of spring, and I'm telling you about it. But again, very cool book to read by the fire, snowing outside or whatnot. So synopsis, here we go. The ordinary people risk everything for a chance at redemption in this audacious, utterly gripping novel of catastrophe and survival at the end of the world, from the acclaimed author of The Chalk Man. Yeah, at the end of the world, I kind of forgot about that. This is like a dystopian, like post event type book as well, and that's all foreshadowed by the action, or it's all overshadowed, or however you would say it, by the action that's going on page to page. But you kind of forget that there's something bigger going on in the background of all of this. Hannah awakens to carnage, all mangled metal and shattered glass, after she was evacuated from a secluded boarding school during a snowstorm. Her coach careered off the road. Is that right? I always thought it was careened. Anyway, her coach careered off the road, trapping her with a handful of survivors. They'll need to work together to escape with their sanity and secrets intact. So, bus wreck, snowy covered roads, remote location, turned over on its side, no easy way out based off the situation they're left in. So we had Hannah. Meg awakens to a gentle rocking. She's in a cable car stranded high above snowy mountains with five strangers and no memory of how they got on board. They are heading to a place known only as the Retreat, but as the temperature drops and tensions mount, Meg realizes they may not all make it there alive. Hannah, Meg, Carter. Carter is gazing out the window of an isolated ski chalet he and his companions call home. As their generator begins to waver in the storm, something hiding in the chalet's depths threatens to escape, and their fragile bonds will be tested when the power finally fails for good. The imminent dangers faced by Hannah, Meg, and Carter are each one part of the puzzle. Lurking in their shadows is an even greater danger, one with the power to consume all of humanity. So, yeah, dystopian end of the world type shit. Three different scenarios: a guy at a ski chalet with a failing generator, a girl on dangling from a cable car going to this retreat place, and a girl that's just survived a bus wreck, evacuating from her boarding school. So a lot of shit going on there, and it's one of those books that you get deep into it, and you're kind of like, shit, I've only got X amount of pages left. How in the hell is the author going to tie this up? I mean, how in the world is this all going to come together? But it does. And it's not it's satisfying. It is satisfying the way it all comes together. For me, again, I had some feelings. Hindsight, those feelings have kind of faded, and I kind of remember the action, the intrigue, the mystery, the character development, all these things that I like about C.J. Tudor's work, and the twist. While maybe not my favorite of her twists initially, it's not something that has, I guess, marred my memory of the book, but it is a thing. So, be interested in your opinion on this book, especially the ending. Leave me a comment if you've got one. Go ahead and leave me a comment on the Catriona Award book, too. I don't know if I ever did a video review of that. I'm going back through and bringing a lot of my old stuff back to life. I need to see if I did a review on that and what I said in regards to the way things wrapped up in that one. But anyway, this is The Drift by C.J. Tudor. Probably at 3 stars on this book. Yeah, for sure. 3 stars. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying all your books. All of them. All of them as much as I am. If not, you are reading the wrong damn books.